Welcome to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. After the country and the world waited with bated breath what Raila had in store for them, finally it is official. Raila Odinga declared the nationwide mass action that starts today. This is coming after the elapse of 14-day ultimatum that he gave the country with several conditions that touch at the heart of the ordinary mwananchi. The 14-day ultimatum elapsed yesterday night because he gave them up to saa sita usiku.
Fellow Kenyans, starting today and now, hereby declare the official start of a countrywide mass action for the following reasons. Number one, the high cost of living in Kenya, which is as a result of massive looting of the public resources and heartless withdrawal of subsidies to food, fuel, and education by the Kenya Kwanza regime in the middle of a drought and economic meltdown. To lower the cost of living and to restore the dignity of our people, Mr. Ruto must go.
The government had tried to put a brave face, trying to water down the demands by Raila Odinga. But it is very clear, because sources had indicated that there were last-minute efforts to reach out to Raila so that they can have a round-table talks. It seems it was too late. I remember the mainstream media had even questioned whether Raila was slowly chickening out of the mass action, because yesterday a certain group led by the Secretary General, Edwin Sifuna, had said that they were kind of changing their tact to force certain ministries to implement some of their demands. But if you ask those who are close to Raila Odinga, it had reached a point where Raila could not even attempt to chicken out. Why? The people were ready. He had charged them, and they had even said that this is no longer about Raila Odinga. It is about the people themselves. Where does this leave our country? Number one, the government must now go back to their drawing board, because what Raila is talking about is not about Raila himself. It is about the people, because he's talking about the cost of living, massive looting, the withdrawal of all the subsidies on fuel, unga, electricity, and all this, even including school fees. So it means that starting today, it is going to be about the people against the government. Because when the government took oath of office, they said that the cost of living will come down. The Azimio supporters are obviously very happy. Those of the Kenya Kwanza are obviously very, very angry about this. Now, if you go by history, I said here earlier that when Raila initiates something, don't trivialize it. And this is the reason why I'm saying that William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua are missing a point here. They think that the former president Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta were fools when they decided to sit down with Raila Amolo Odinga to talk about issues that matter to us. But they will soon realize that President Kibaki and Uhuru were actually the wisest fellas we've ever had in Kenya today. You see, when Raila sets out an agenda, it is after a lot of consultation. He's got a massive following of about 8 to 10 million people who look up to him, who listen to him. And the question that they have been asking is very simple. Baba, we voted for you, and your votes were stolen. You had promised us 6 million Kenya shillings to the poor, 6,000 Kenya shillings to the poor families. You promised us free education from the CBC to the university. Now the cost of school fees is even higher. You had told us that you knew the loopholes or where corruption was eating our money, and you had said that you lower the cost of living down. Now that you are not in office, what do we do? Are we going to sit down and watch our country go to the dogs? That is the question they have been asking. And Raila has always assured them that as long as he is alive, he was not going to sit down and watch things happen the way they are happening. And as I said, history has shown that anytime he begins something, it must succeed. Whether it is the ouster of the former IEBC officials led by Isaac Hassan, whether it is the Waiguru who was ousted out of office, whatever he tells, and especially when he starts saying you must go, then you must prepare. So today begins the nationwide mass action, and I know they will be giving further instructions, because that means we could be going back to Machozi Mondays, where every Monday people will be going to the streets. They will be running battles with the police, because even as we speak now, all the roads that are leading to all this, or to State House and all the state lodges in Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, everywhere have been cordoned, and it tells you that the government is scared. The government knows how to play around with the minds of their supporters, because they don't want to look like they are cowards. At the back of their minds, they are looking for Raila Amolo Odinga so that they can talk. But when they come up in public, they say that they won't be intimidated. And in fact, our Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua keeps on saying, hauwezi uzia rais wetu uoga. To him, he does not see the seriousness of the talks about the cost of living, the talks about electoral justice. He does not see this, because already, even as we speak, bandits are killing fellow Kenyans, innocent Kenyans in Northeastern. There are families which cannot afford even one meal in a day. They slaughter dogs because that is the only animal available in the family. All the other animals have died as a result of drought that is ravaging our country. Youth do not have employments, not because they don't want to work. They've got decorated certificates, but there are no jobs. And then we hear about looting and corruption, massive corruption in the government, less than 8 months into power. Then instead of talking about tangible issues on how they can help us, improve the our lives, what they do is to keep on blaming the previous administration, blaming Uhuru Kenyatta. Recently, the controller of budget said that she was compelled to sign certain amounts of billions of shillings to go into people's pockets. Now, on further scrutiny, it is realized that even Rigathi Gachagua himself, immediately he ascended to power, there was certain money that Mr. Okur Yatani was instructed to withdraw to give the office of the deputy president. So this has not gone well with the Kenyan people, because they are telling Mr. Rigathi Gachagua that even Kibaki, when Kibaki took over power in 2002, they found that they took over an administration that had been looted to the ground, to its knees. But they didn't blame Daniel Moi. They forgot about everything that Daniel Moi did, and they embarked on restructuring our economy. They did not start political witch hunt, because the truth is, Moi had presided over several dirty things in the country, including murder, corruption, what have you, you can name them. But they decided to let the sleeping dog lie. And they rebuilt our economy, notwithstanding that there were certain weaknesses within. That is the time when Kenya introduced the CDF. That is the time we saw roads being built by the Chinese. We saw, Kibaki led this economy into its greatest height. So this administration is not careful. They understand very well that Raila is saying that they stole his votes. Instead of calling him so that they can sit down to talk about what he wants, just listening to him, the way Uhuru Kenyatta did, they thump chest. They keep on chesting the thump and telling Raila that there was no way you could inherit power because you are an antichrist. You understand all this. And they even tell Raila that we will take you to Bondo. They want to take his members of parliament. They keep on harassing Uhuru Kenyatta, harassing people who are close to them, the Azimio fraternity, and yet Kenyans are dying of hunger. We have got several challenges that we need to talk about. To add salt to injury, he has started recruiting the panel that will be recruiting, commissioners, because the vacancies have been left, because there are vacancies within the IEBC. The Cherera 4 have been kicked out, and the other 3 went home because their term elapsed. So, ladies and gentlemen, it goes without saying that this is not a wise decision. I analyzed yesterday that William Ruto will take the greatest responsibility if he allows Kenyans to go to the street, because with that, we are dividing the country further. We are losing more revenue. We could even, witness some unnecessary death, because even though the freedom of picketing is within our constitution, the police will be engaging wananchi in running battles. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that when Raila dons the military fatigue and he says that we have to go, then people will go. If William Ruto wanted to see the best of Raila Amolo Odinga, he's going to see it. If he wanted to test waters, he will see the depth of the waters. Because we have got people who voted, their votes did not count. They are bitter. And they were waiting for the slightest provocation. Some of them had moved on. But William Ruto is provoking them indirectly without knowing. It is high time William Ruto swallows humble pie and engage Raila Amolo Odinga. Otherwise, things are getting thicker for him. It is official. Mass action. The Enigma himself has said it. And I can assure you that this is going to be the mother of all demonstrations that Kenya has never witnessed. That is it, ladies and gentlemen.